Good morning, everyone. Hi. Happy Thursday. All right. Let's see where we are at. Good morning. All right, let's see what's on the menu for today. RMSG had already popped up, so let's take a look. Okay, so it has news. That's good. Report of foreign private issuer pursuant to rule. Okay, so that's not like amazing news. The price is under $10. The float is under 20 million. The relative volume is way above 5 times the 50-day average, and it's gapped up more than 10%. Okay, so let's take a look. Total volume is over 500,000, and it is hard to borrow on Thinkorswim. All right, so it looks like it's already making some moves. I'm trading 100 shares. That's where I'm at in my journey. I had to drop my shares down from some big losses, and that's okay. I'm working my way back up. So, because that's what you should do if you have some losses. Okay, so let's see. I don't know. This price action is really choppy. It looks like a bull flag pullback is forming. I'm going to say, let's see, we're at high of day 189. I'm going to look at the daily chart, just see where potential windows of resistance are. So already we see here that there's a window up to about 369. So it has some potential as far as a window on the daily chart. That's good news. Let's see. Real Messenger announces compliance with NASDAQ minimum bid price requirement. So it looks like they had been, did they lose their compliance? Okay, so this is the news. It looks like they've regained NASDAQ compliance. So looks like there's a bull flag pullback forming. But again, I'm going to be a little cautious here. This looks really choppy, but I'm looking for some of the setups that I trade are bull flag pullback, micro pullback, flat top breakout, and breakout of the whole and half dollar. Those are pretty much my setups right now. So right here, this would be the top of the low candle on the pullback, and it just tapped the 90 MA. But see, this profit loss ratio is inverted for me. If this is my entry point and this is my target and this is my stop, the risk is greater than the reward. So I wouldn't take it here. I'm going to wait and see if it pulls back a little bit more. If it pulls back a little bit more, then that would be an acceptable profit loss ratio for me. So, it looks like it's breaking out, but I wouldn't have taken this trade because this profit loss ratio, I need at least 1-to-1 to make it worth it for me. And this here is about 6 cents here and about 7 cents here. I know it seems close, it is, but I'm looking for ideally a 2-to-1 profit ratio, potential profit ratio. I don't want to risk 7 cents to make 6. I'm not always calculating the profit loss ratio to the penny, but I do want to eyeball it. I want to feel like this is at least 1 or greater than this. All right, so we've got a little bit more of a pullback. So now this profit loss ratio, you can see that this section here, the potential profit is greater than the potential loss. But I don't love the topping tail here, the topping tail here, the topping tail. I don't know. I'm not loving it because the volume bars are going down. I like that. Okay. But this looks choppy to me. I mean, I think it's going to break out, but see, look, it did. And but it did, but the profit loss ratio wasn't ideal for me. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on this one. Some days I don't take any trades. Yesterday was a no trade day for me. And I'm reading through my trading plan, which I did on my live stream yesterday because there was nothing to watch. So I missed this one. I felt like it was a little bit close on the profit loss ratio. And I didn't love that this was an inside candle. I don't know. So I guess this would have had to be down here. Remove. This would have been my stop right below the 9 EMA. And if I were really strict about it, my profit was less than my loss, my potential risk. So I didn't want to take this trade. So I'm going through my trading plan. I read through most of it before I hopped on, but I'm going to read through my trading plan every day. And once I feel like I have it, you know, edited properly, I'm going to post it over on Substack. And it will be a living document where I will update it periodically. But that way you can see where I'm at the moment in terms of my trading plan. But I'm just kind of editing it as I go. I just want to make it real readable. And I mean, I guess it should be readable for me too, right? I don't think that I will get there anytime soon. I was at 500 shares. All right, so we have another pullback, but of course it's tapping this level here. I don't know. I'm just not feeling this one. It feels choppy. Not really feeling it. Yes, I am. It's going to take me a while to work back up to 500 shares because I have previously I was like, oh, it feels like the right time to scale up. I'm not doing that anymore. Now I'm doing a very data-driven approach to scaling up and scaling down. And I'm going to be using my data from TraderView, which is the app that I use to track all my trades. That's where I do all my trade logging and journaling. And I'm going to be using that data to determine when I move to the next level or if I have to drop down. I hope I don't have to drop down to 50 shares, but I've had to trade 10 shares before, but I wasn't using a data-driven approach. That was more of a fear-based approach. I was like, so, you know, but I'm starting at 100 shares again and hoping to move up to 150, but let's see, my last trade on Tuesday was a timeout violation. I had so my second to last trade on Tuesday, I had a red trade and I was supposed to wait 15 minutes before trading again, and I traded right away after 2 minutes. So that means I have to start the clock again. So I have 5 criteria. If I meet those criteria for 20 trades, then I can move up to 150 shares. So yesterday was a no trade day, so I didn't have a chance to redeem myself. But today, the trades today, I'm starting at 1. I have to do 20 trades. I won't do 20 trades in one day. I used to do that. I've done that before, a little over trading. I don't overtrade anymore, so my guess is that it's going to take me, if I have all good trades, qualifying trades, it's going to take me like a week. I could do it in a week, I think. I'm curious, do you guys, what are your rules for scaling up and scaling down? Feel free to pop that in the chat. We've had some great chat discussions lately. And so I love it when you guys kind of share what you're doing. Okay, now RMSG is below VWAP, so that's a no-go for me. And you can see that the MACD is red. And it's below the 90 MA. I would prefer to trade over VWAP, over the 90 MA, and with a green MACD. So let's see what else is popping up. Oh, I forgot to have my little bell on. SMX is popping up. ERNA, that was what we were looking at yesterday. I think Ross Cameron, didn't he trade that yesterday? The relative volume on SMX is too low. ERNA, okay. Let's look at ERNA, although it looks like it's continuation from yesterday. I didn't trade it yesterday. I saw that Ross did. Okay. Well, it looks like we have a pullback to the 90 MA. So, of course, it was hard to borrow yesterday on Thinkorswim too, so I already knew that. But total volume is over 500,000. That's another thing that I look at. Okay, so let's see. We had a pullback to the 9 EMA here. Now we're having another pullback to the 9 EMA. A lot of topping tails, though. Okay, and we have another similar problem here that I have with the last one, which is my profit-loss ratio is inverted. I'm risking too much. I want to see ideally like maybe a 1.5 to 1 or 2 to 1 profit loss ratio. That would be ideal. But this I'm not seeing. And all these topping tails makes me think that there's downward pressure on the price. If we look at the level 2, the spread's also really big. Well, really big for me. 5-cent spread, 721 at the top of the bid, 720. Okay, so it's not super wide, but for a second there, it looked like it was 5 or 6 cents. That means that you're more likely to get slippage or, So there's volume, but it's not real fast moving. And these volume bars, look, it's fading because this is kind of a pullback, right? So, yep. So I'm looking through my trading plan. Like I said, I will post it over on Substack once I kind of. Good morning, James. Once I kind of get it edited properly, and it's it'll be like a living document. I'm still learning, so we're just watching ERNA, which of course popped up yesterday. I think Ross Cameron traded this yesterday. So yeah, I'm just kind of going through my trading plan. I'm gonna try to go through it every morning. I went through most of it before 7 o'clock, but I overslept a little bit today. I'm normally up by like sometimes 4 or 5 o'clock. I didn't get out of bed till after 6 Eastern Standard Time, so we'll see what's on the agenda for today. Let's see. I'm looking at OG. Let's see. Let's look at OSG. It has older news, but let's look at OSG. Okay, that's trading below VWAP. ERNA. CMRC, let's take a look. CMRC, that has higher float. CMRC, that has higher float, so yeah, and that's moving pretty slowly. And that doesn't even have 500,000 in total volume. So that's one of my stock selection criteria. Now I've incorporated that. It was one of you guys that mentioned that to me. So thank you for that. I really like that. I really like making sure that the total volume is at least over 500,000. Oh, these are really tiny volume candles. Look, they're not even. Another great thing that one of my viewers mentioned, and I wish I could remember who it was, but they said that they like to have at least 5 digits of volume on a candle. And this is like really low volume for each candle, right? Look at this. I can't even see the volume bar. 1,000 shares. So that's too slow moving. Let's see. Trading is a lot like parenting. You're just saying no over and over and over. So SMX is popping up, but I'm not going to trade that. I'm holding some shares from a while ago. I'm holding a bag on that. I'm staying away from that. Yeah, that's when I used to hold on to stocks and hope and pray that they would come back up. I don't do that anymore. I just take the loss and I move on. I don't turn day trades into swing trades anymore. I did that for a while. I'm holding a few bags, but I don't do that anymore. I don't recommend it. If you're day trading small cap momentum stocks, I recommend that you close out all your shares by the end of the day. Again, I'm on my journey. I'm just learning too, but every day trader says that. So there must be a reason, because the stocks very rarely come up. And if they do, they come up weeks later and that capital is tied up. And you want that capital to make money, right? You need money to make money. So all right, so let's see. I'm going to do a quote of the day every day. Let's see. Let me look at today. Let's find a quote for today. Yesterday it was Ben Franklin. Some of these I don't really, I think they're just kind of silly. Okay. Okay, Robert Allen, he's an author. How many millionaires do you know have become wealthy by investing in savings accounts? I rest my case. I think that's really funny. That'll be our quote for the day. Our inspiration to day trade. Well, GCT popped up at $50 a share. That's a little over my price range. I'm only trading stocks under $10 right now. ERNA. Let's see, OSG. I'm going to take OSG off. RMSG, trading below VWAP. MACD's red. CMRC. So sometimes, you know, looking at the charts is just more about evaluating why you wouldn't trade stocks. Less trading and more watching and more evaluating, right? We're evaluating the stocks. Well, I'm just curious. GCT, I'm not going to trade it, but I'm just curious what's going on with it. Okay, look, that has really low total volume. It's barely moving. So yeah, the price popped up, but all right. Let's see what else. There's a stock called D-Dog. I love these names of some of these Data Dog. Some of the tickers are so cute. D-Dog. All right. NNBR. I'm looking at things on the Top Gainers scanner at Warrior Trading to see what in my price range. So this has a float that, the float's higher, 37 million, but the relative volume and the gap look good. They had a good earnings per, so their earnings per share, they had good earnings per share news. No, wait, sorry, I was looking at the wrong news. They announced first quarter financial results. Okay, so let's take a look. Again, very slow moving. Look at very low volume. So what's going on? Everything's how is the stock market doing today? Things are kind of slow moving. May 7th. Okay, stock futures are holding their record highs. So maybe everyone's in the futures market. Nothing good so far. I know. Yeah. I mean, some days are like that. Yesterday, I had 0 trades. No trades. And that's okay. I mean, that means that because when I first started last year, I would just trade anything. I'd be like, well, it's better than trading nothing. No, really, it's better to trade nothing than to trade something bad. There are going to be no trade days. This is the reality of day trading. There should be no trade days if you're trading quality. And so, you know, the stock market's been good, but it hasn't trickled down into small caps. I'm going to look at my Bitcoin, because I'm trying to take some profit off the table if it hits 86. It's back down to 81. I don't day trade Bitcoin. But I'm keeping an eye on it. And a lot of people say that crypto kind of mirrors small caps, and that seems to be the case, right? Crypto's back up, and small caps have been, you know, the market's been going up. Let's see. Let's look at the S&P. Let's look at the daily chart on the S&P. So there we go. This is the daily chart on the S&P 500. You know, we hit a rough point here in March. I actually did well in February. I did really well in February. That was my best month this year. April was my worst month, but things were coming up, which is so ironic. But April was my worst month so far this year. But things are looking up here. Look at that. Of course, this is yesterday's candle. If you're new, remember that the daily chart is only between regular market hours. And so we won't see today's candle on the daily chart yet because it's before 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is yesterday's daily candle. But it's good, you know, I always check the daily chart. I mean, I don't trade the S&P 500, but I check the daily chart when I'm trading to look for points of resistance, windows going back. Let's see. Let's see what's going on with the VIX. The VIX is, let's Look at the daily chart for the VIX. Look at that. That's nice to see. This was terrifying. Panic, panic. All right, so the VIX, I think, is also calculated based on, this is calculated based on, you know, regular market hour values, but there's some calculation that they use to put in data to estimate the data during the non-market hours. Let's see, actually, let me put in my benchmarks. Let's see, delete gadget, so I can move this up. And then I'll re-add my news gadget. So the news, I use Warrior Trading scanners, and sometimes the news pops up there first, and sometimes the news, whoops, I meant to put news. Sometimes the news pops up on Thinkorswim first. It really depends on, let's see, I'm just going to make sure that these are linked to my charts so we can bring them up. All right, something's popping up. Let me see. Oops. All right, something's popping up. Let's see what's popping up. MASK. This has just been a repeat customer, but I haven't traded it. Whoops. Let's get rid of this. MASK. Okay, this is a potential. The float's under 1 million, but the relative volume isn't there yet. The relative volume is only 0.27. So I won't trade it unless the relative volume is 5 times the 50-day average. I want to see like good relative volume because that's driving the price action. That's what's keeping it up or down. Also, the total volume is under 500,000, so I'm going to wait on that, which is no surprise because the relative volume is so low. So let me clean this up. ERNA is below VWAP, NNBR trailing VWAP, CMRC. Again, the volume's too low. So I'm just going to clean this up. MASK, I think, is a possibility. It doesn't have news, but the price action looks interesting. It's just way too low volume for me. It's way too low volume. So, you know, I'm going to wait and see if the volume picks up on MASK, and if the price action still looks clean, then maybe I'll consider it. I'm just being really, you know, following my rules. Okay, so I'm also looking right now at my trading plan. I read through most of it before we got on, but I overslept today. Pre-trade checklist. So the stock meets, let's see. So of course I want to check my stock selection criteria before I trade. Right? That would be the first thing. I want to make sure I identify the setup. Now, I have taken trades where I didn't know the setup that I was taking. I'm improving on this, but I did it the other day, and so you'll see some of the trades in my trader view are tagged no setup. It's because I jumped in compulsively without identifying a setup. So the relative, I mean, the total volume is over 500,000, but let me check the relative volume here. The relative volume is under 1. It means that it's current volume is less than the 50-day average. So I'm going to hold, I mean, the price action, this is the best price action I've seen so far this morning. You know, we have a leg up. This looks like a potential pull for a bull flag. The volume's going up. We have a topping tail that shows the reversal. It's coming back down. This is the pullback. Let's see, that's the top. I'm going to check the daily chart to see if there's a window on the daily chart. Okay, yep, look. So this is the top high price today, but you can see that it goes all the way up to 608 here. So there's potential for it to go up. Now, this would have been the top of the low candle. And this would have been, this is what I'm seeing a lot lately, that this is a candle inside candle. This is an inside candle right here. So would my stop be the bottom of the low candle or the bottom of the last low candle? This is something that I've kind of struggled with lately in this situation where you have the low candle as an inside candle. I'm curious what you guys do. Where do you place your stop? Do you place it at the bottom of the lowest candle, or do you place it at the bottom of the last low candle, even if it's an inside candle? Because that changes my profit loss ratio, right? Like here, this looked like a pretty good profit loss ratio, and it did pop up, but this volume candle here, it just didn't have enough volume to drive up towards the target. So that's why I'm really focusing on that volume metric, because I want to see that the volume is driving the price up. That's my thought process on that. But yeah, any feedback on this would be really appreciated, because a couple of times lately I've noticed that the low candle is an inside candle. Maybe that's a question for Reddit, right? I feel like if I post that question on Reddit, I'll get like 4,000 responses. SKYQ. Oh, we've seen this one before. SKYQ. Looks like they have news today. They entered a strategic multi-party MOU to advance next-generation fuel technologies. Okay, their float is 3.38 million. The relative volume is not there yet. Again, the relative volume is not there yet. We don't even have 500,000 total volume. And they are hard to borrow on Thinkorswim. So the hard to borrow, easy to borrow, AMA 200 at 509. Low volume with news, yep. The 200 EMA is at 509. So yeah, that's resistance. That's potential resistance right there. And we've got this big topping tail. Already, I don't like that. Already, I don't like that. Yeah, there's just not enough volume for me. The volume is literally 0.22 on Warrior Trading scanners. So it's not even, it's the equivalent of its 50-day volume. Wow, low volume, huh? On some of these stocks today. It's like, I guess, so I slept in late. I got up at I got out of bed at like 6:15, which is like really late for me. Looks like all the stocks are sleeping in too. Right? All the stocks are sleeping in too. So, Duvan, do you put the, do you look at the 200 EMA on the 1 minute chart, on the chart you're trading on, or do you look at it on the daily chart? Because I had it on my daily chart. I thought I had it on my daily chart. Let me see. I had the 200 simple moving average on my daily chart. Let's look at my studies. Let's see what I have here. Edit studies. I'm going to take the MACD off. I had it on here, moving average. Let's see. Where's the regular moving average? Moving, let's see, simple. moving average. Here we go. I had this, I liked, I don't know, I had the simple moving average, the 200. So I'm going to put that back on there because that is helpful to look at resistance on the daily chart. And I like my simple moving average to be purple. So save as set. I'm going to save that on my daily set. On Thinkorswim, you can kind of save a study set. Whoops, why is this so? All right, so here on the daily chart, so on the daily chart, the simple moving average, the 200 simple moving average is even lower. It's here at 405. But I don't want it on the 1 minute. Why is it showing up on my 1 minute? Huh. Let's see. Load study set. There we go. Oh, I meant to take this off of my as 1 minute, save, yes. You know, I'm always adjusting things. All right, so SKYQ just never really had enough volume to make a move. Let's see, RMSG popped up again, but it might just be recovering under VWAP, right? Yeah, that's what it is. It's trying to recover under VWAP. Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to use scripts in Thinkorswim because before I had Warrior Trading's scanners, I created my own scanners in Thinkorswim using ThinkScript, and that's pretty awesome. I mean, I could do that again, but I found that I really like the Warrior Trading scanners. However, there are other scanners I'm looking at, like Chart Watchers, that other viewers recommended. I'm kind of I'm looking around. But you can also use studies for that, right? Do you use the studies feature or just ThinkScript for everything? Because you can, there's a study for the exponential moving average on the 1 minute time frame. So I'm on the 1 minute chart right now, right? If I click on the little beaker, which I think is so cute, I think that's cute, and you click edit studies, right? Here, you can look for exponential, moving average exponential, because I have the 9 EMA and the 20, well, I used to have the 20 EMA on my charts, but I took it off. So you can add selected, and then here you go into the little gear, and then here you could put 200, right? 200 and put whatever color and whatever design you want. Like, let's just say, I'll make it green just so you can see it. And then it will show up on your chart. So if you want, you can do it that way, but ThinkScript is great. I used it to, you know, kind of make my own scanners. I tried to mimic what, to sort for the stock selection criteria, because I took all Warrior Trading's class, well, not all of their classes yet. I took their basic class and I'm working my way through the advanced class. I'm like 75% of the way through, but I actually did the first half like 3 times already, twice, 3 times. The basics class, I did like 4 times. I just kept going through it and taking notes and taking notes. So that was sort of where I started with day trading last year. And so I tried to create my own scanners with ThinkScript to screen for those stock selection criteria. However, I've been using his scanners now for a while, but I'm open to other options. I'm definitely open to other options because it is an expense and I'm not consistently profitable yet. You know, I'm a new trader. I'm sharing my journey. Hold on, I gotta get my air conditioner remote. It's really hot. Muggy. It's muggy. It's not that hot in here, but it is muggy. And it's hard to open my windows because I'm on the side. This room is on the side of my house that's on the street side. So I just get distracted by the traffic. So let me know if the sound of the air conditioner is annoying. But it's probably less annoying than traffic. I don't really, I'm near a school, so we get a lot of traffic in the morning. So yeah, I'm curious, like, you know, I'm really trying to simplify my trading game and distill it down to the most essential components to trade profitably, because there are just too many criteria to look at. And I don't think there's any one right combination of criteria. I think it's like what works for you. I kind of like that about trading. It's hard. I like that it's hard. So, but maybe now that I'm more experienced, I could go back and create my own scanners on ThinkScript. The one thing that I really like about Warrior Trading scanners that he does, and I'm not sure how to do this with ThinkScript, but he actually puts the float, not the shares outstanding. So, because of course there's a difference between the float is often a subset of the shares outstanding, right? Because the shares outstanding includes everything, institutional investors, and it's like a much bigger number. I actually did a video on this, but study's good, but in that time frame, the chart, you like the script because you can see. Oh, okay. Yeah, please post it in the chat. Please. Thank you. I love when everyone starts sharing on the chat, because if I'm interested, other people are interested, right? And that's how we learn. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, please post it in the chat. Let's I'm definitely curious. That's one thing, like, I absolutely want to hear what you guys are doing, how you do it, why you do it, what works for you. I'm assuming that you're evolving. We're all evolving, right? We should be. We should be evolving. So, what I'm doing today is going to be different than what I'm doing a month from now, because I'm trying to improve by 1% a day. That's my goal. I want to improve my trading 1% every day. I'm looking to make incremental, continuous incremental changes. When I was in business school way back in the day, this concept called Kaizen was very popular. If you Google it, Kaizen, and it was kind of taken from Japanese culture, where it's continuous incremental improvement. But that's been my mantra all these years. Okay, that's great. Okay, so you use Charts Watcher. Okay, I've been playing with Charts Watcher, trying to get like used to it, because I might switch. I want the 10-second chart. That's the thing. Thinkorswim doesn't have a 10-second chart. I know you can set up a chart based on ticks. I find that really confusing. I would prefer one with like a 10-second chart. And Charts Watcher looks pretty good. I think it was James that suggested it. So yeah. It's great because I've learned so much from you guys just by hearing what you do. And even if I don't do everything you suggest, like, I'm learning there are other options, and that just kind of goes into the file, right? The code is too long for the chat. Oh, okay. Let's see. I wonder if on the YouTube channel, is there a way to post in the community section? I wonder if my community tab works. I'll have to figure that out. If I can figure that out, you can post it in the community section, because that would be very helpful. Let's see. It's not like we have anything to trade right now. I have time to look. Let's see. So I think now we can use the community section. So if you go on to my main YouTube page, it looks like I haven't really utilized it yet because I'm so new. But it looks like there's a community tab that is now available that we can use to create discussions. So I wonder if you can put it in there, as you can put images. I don't know if there's a limit to how much you can put in there, but I'm assuming it's longer. Okay, see, other people like Charts Watcher. I mean, I like Thinkorswim. I mean, sorry, Warrior Trading Scanners, but they are expensive. So, oh, okay, SABR. 50-50 shot. You know what, TJ? My accuracy has been about that lately, so I guess I can't do worse following that. Following that. Okay. So what do you guys use for news? What do you said you use? So TJ, you just mentioned news coming out. Duvan, you mentioned you have a scanner that just shows stocks that have news today. What do you guys use for your news? So yeah, Duvan, try to see if you can post it in the community tab. I haven't used the community tab yet. I've created posts there, but I haven't really. We haven't really utilized it as a community yet. That's where I post like what days I'm gonna live stream, which is most days. I should do a poll. I like polls. All right, so today is testing my patience. I sent the code to your last post yesterday. Okay, cool. Thank you. Awesome. So guys, if you want to check out the code, the think script that Duvan is using, check it out he put it on the last post from yesterday. All right, I see it. I see it. Cool. Thank you so much. Awesome. Yeah, we should probably start using the community tab, right? But of course, most of the chats are centered on what we're doing as far as trading. So SABR, look at that. Okay. So the earnings per share news came out. It had a pullback here, but this wouldn't have been enough for me to jump in. So let me take a look at SABR right now. So the float is way higher than I would normally trade. It's over 300 million. That is way over my float, but let's look at it, right? Let's take a look, because the relative volume is great, the gap up is great, but it's going to be slower moving, right? Total volume is over 1 million. It's easy to borrow. So I will probably stay away from this for two reasons. Because the high float, yep, the high float, and also because it's easy to borrow, which means that there may be more people shorting it, putting downward pressure on the price. So easy to borrow is not a deal breaker for me. I will trade easy to borrow stocks, but it's something I want to be aware of. Now, in this case, now I have two things that are kind of like giving me pause: the high float and easy to borrow. So I might stay off. Well, it says here on Thinkorswim, it says reported quarterly earnings of 6 cents per share, which beat the analyst consensus. It came out at 7:42 a.m. TJ, so I don't know. Maybe that's not the news you're talking about. Are you talking about other news? Or is that just... because it is popping up. Let's see. I mean, you've got a nice pullback here. Let's see, though, if... I mean, I'm not going to trade it because of my two reasons, but also this, if this is the top of the low candle and this would be my stop, it looks like it's going to tap the 9 EMA, but this is not a good enough profit loss ratio for me. I'm looking for at least 1-to-1, maybe 2-to-1. Yeah. So, but of course, you know, everyone has a different strategy. So TJ, do you trade stocks that have a float this high regularly? See, we have lots to watch, even though I haven't seen anything that I would trade yet. I'm going to have to really exercise some serious patience, guys, if this is another no trade day. Because all right, so now it's pulling back even more. Let's see. Okay, so now this is an acceptable profit loss ratio for me. The volume bars are going down. I mean, the price action looks really clean. You know, but it's got a really high float. So yeah, I'm definitely hoping I get a trade today, but I'm gonna have to exercise patience. If there isn't anything, one no trade day wasn't so hard. I was like, all right, I have to be patient, and if I have a no trade day, whatever. Oh, that's gonna be really hard if I have 2 no trade days in a row. I'm gonna have to really exercise patience. You guys are gonna have to talk me down. All right, so now the profit loss ratio is still good. But like I said, I don't know, easy to borrow, high float. My micro account is up 10% trading today. Wow. Wow. 10% is great. 10% is great. Wow, that's a really amazing account return. Good job. Right. Yeah. I mean, I've started being a lot more lax on the float. If the price action is good, then I don't, it's not a non-negotiable for me. The float is not a non-negotiable. I'm just curious because trading stocks. What a clever name. His name must be Trey, right? Trading stocks. He works at Thinkers. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm going to put that down in my notebook. You guys know so much. That's such a clever name for a channel. Oh my God. How clever. Okay. So I've got my paper journal. And this, I always have this with me. I'm almost out though. I need to get another one. What color should I get? I'm a girl, so of course the color of my journal really matters to me. I guess I'll get green next time. I got navy, you know, being sensible. Okay. So I'll get green next time. I'll get a green journal next time. So today I'm going to put Thursday, May 7th, and trading stocks on YouTube for TOS scripts. Yep. Great value too. He's got a scanner. Okay, why are you trading? Why are you so against trading during market hours? I do my best trading when I'm not against trading during market hours. I just, based on my data, I've done better in the pre-market. So I'm not against it. There's more volume. When I first started trading, I traded only during market hours, and I actually did really well. But lately, I'm finding I'm struggling, and so I'm not against it, but I am just trying to figure out how to make it work for me again. So yeah, no, I would like to be able to trade. I mean, I'm only going to probably live stream till 10 a.m. every day, but I do hop on the market other times of the day. So, you know, sometimes I stay on till 11. Sometimes I hop on midday. Sometimes I like trading the last hour of the day, the first hour after market close. I mean, it's a little bit more manageable and slower for me, but no, I do it's not that I don't like it, it's that I haven't been doing as well. So I'm following the money right now, but again, this is where to problem solve it, maybe I'll do more paper trading during the market open until I figure out like why am I struggling during regular market hours. I think I don't know, there's just a lot, maybe because there's more going on and it's harder for me to filter out the noise. So I have to diagnose that, but I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's cool. So you only see the labels, so you don't have the line. Oh, is that how your script works? It like appears when it gets close to it? That's kind of cool because I don't like a lot of visual clutter. So that's a really cool feature. So yeah, this didn't really go anywhere, but I don't know. It's still above VWAP, so let's keep watching it. Yeah, I would love to be better at trading during the market regular hours. That used to be my prime time. Um, so I'm just trying to, at this point, follow my data. And then, you know, like I said, I'm going to try to do more paper trading during market hours to just really figure out what am I doing differently during market hours that's causing me to have worse numbers. Like I had one of my biggest losses last month during, well, I think all of them were during market hours. I think part of it is I had not been setting a stop loss order after my placing or after entering the trade. So that's something I'm adding. If I take an order during regular market hours, I'm immediately going to place a stop loss order on the active trader ladder. So what hours do you like trading during the market open, TJ? Because yeah, like I said, I'm I'm it's also partly availability because of my schedule. For me, pre-market works out better with my current schedule. So I can't consistently trade later into the morning. Oh yeah, I've been burned on some halts though. I've been burned on so many halts. Like I've done really well on halts, but I've also been burned. That's the other thing that has kind of skewed my, given me some poor metrics on the market during, at least in the beginning, with the halts. But I think if you're comfortable trading halts and it's working for you, that's awesome. Okay, wow. I would love to get good at that time frame, but I can sometimes, it would just be hard for me to trade through the afternoon. Afternoon, it gets hard for me, noon or 1 o'clock. News stock, that's what you use for news? Of course, my schedule may change at some point, but I do want to get better at trading other times of the day so that I have more options for traveling. So I want to get good at trading throughout the day. Let's see. Something's popping up on my scanner. Two things. ATR. Oh, a bunch of stuff's popping up. All right. So let's see what's going on. VEEE and ATRA. Oops. Let's see what's going on. Oh, why didn't VEEE? All right. So VEE has, they're both popping up at the same time, so my scanner's going a little crazy. Okay, so the float's good. The relative volume on VEE is kind of low, so I'm going to look at ATRA. Let's see. ATRA has a higher float. Well, it looks like I considered this at some point, and apparently whoops. This is our high. Okay, so ATRA, let's take a look. It's at $8, floats 5 million, relative volume. Everything looks good. Something about a lawsuit. I don't know if that's good. Okay, we're hard to borrow. Total volume isn't quite 500,000 yet, though, so I would want to see it pop up a little bit more. Let me just take some of these other things off of here. I really thought I would trade, why does, ugh. All right. So ATRA, but it's below VWAP right now. So VEE also below VWAP. I got all excited. I thought these things were gonna. So the relative volume on VEE, Twin V Power Cats reports continued revenue growth. Okay, that's good. Good news, but the volume's not there yet. Relative volume isn't there yet. So ATRA, if I'm going to look at the daily chart. Let's see. Daily chart. I'm looking for windows. Okay. I wonder what happened over here. It gapped down. Had a gap down in January. Because the FDA rejected something. Okay, but now that looks like they're back on track. So let me look at the 1 minute chart. Wow, my scanner is going nutso. All right, relative volume is going up on VEE. This, we've got a pullback here, but lots of topping tails. Okay. So ATRA, the EMA is at 856. So we've got some resistance. So that's probably why the high hasn't gone any higher. It helps know what stocks. and the halt are going to hit the halt level prior to then selling 2 cents prior. Yeah, so on Thinkorswim, oh, okay. It helps to know when the stocks in the halt are going to hit the halt level prior. Yeah. And then, so on Thinkorswim, you can't see the halt level. Yeah. So ATRA, EME. So these are the two I'm looking at, but VEE, the relative volume is still under 5, so I won't trade that unless the volume pops up. But these are the two I'm looking at. I'm still going to keep SABR on the radar just in case. But these kind of fit what I'm looking for a little bit more. They're under $10. They have a lower float. But I'm just looking for the volume to catch up. So VEE hit 500,000. Let's see, what's the hard, they're hard to borrow. Okay. Wait, VEE, is that hard to borrow? Yes, they're both hard to borrow. So yeah, I'm just kind of watching to see if either one of these. I've been really focused on price action lately and wanting things to look clean on the charts and on the level 2 and the time and sales. That's definitely been where I'm at. I would be looking for a bull flag pullback, or that's mostly what I'm looking for, is a bull flag pullback. So let's see, how's the volume on VE? Is at 3.66 times the 50-day average for relative volume. So it's getting up there. Well, I would be looking for a real pull up, a real leg up, and then a real bull flag pullback. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, here, yes, you could argue that, but the volume's going up here, even though the price is going down. That's not clean to me. Now here, it's choppy. The price goes down, the volume goes down a little. Now it's coming back up. I would want to see like a real leg. The relative volume's crazy on ATRA. Cray cray. Let's see, what's the news here? Okay, so they provided an update following the recent Type A meeting with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to discuss the complete response letter to the biologics license application. Something about their FDA process. I like biotech, but it's not always reflected in the price action. But this is, I think, the one I'm going to watch right now. I really, honestly, don't see much else going on. So, this is the one to watch. Let me see. Let me look at the daily chart. Did I look at the daily chart yet? I did. Oh, that was the one that had the gap down. I'm going to look at the 5-minute chart. Okay, so the volume's up, but the price action is pulling back. So this was just like maybe the initial algo spike. So, you know, it is making a leg up. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's after 8 a.m. I haven't taken a trade yet. This seems like the most viable option today. Let's see what happens. Let's see. I'm gonna make my MACD smaller. It doesn't need to be that big, right? There we go. MACD smaller. I'm trying to find the perfect combination of visuals for you guys and for me. I'm a minimalist in my real life and in my trading life, and having too much going on is like, what? So this would be potentially the high of the move here, this move. We've got high of day here. VITL popped up, but it's already $9 a share. Okay, so VEE has the volume now, but it's below VWAP, so I won't trade that. But what's this other one? VITL, but it's almost $10 a share, and that's my limit. And because, okay, so this looks like we have some VWAP chop, my new term, VWAP chop. I learned that this weekend, reading Andrew Aziz's book. All right, VE looks choppy as well. So ATRA, you are our only hope. So, man, am I too picky? Like, I'm looking at this, and yes, of course, there should be a topping tail for the reversal, right? But this doesn't look super clean to me. Yeah, this looks messy to me. This still, it just feels like a struggle. I don't know. I'm 55. I don't like struggling. I don't mind things being hard. But when something feels like a struggle to me, that's like, I mean, oh, it is breaking out. I missed the move, and that's okay. So this, but the profit loss ratio, I wouldn't have been okay with anyway. See here? This would have been my target price, and this would have been my entry, and this would have been my stop. I wouldn't have taken this trade because of this profit loss ratio. So I would have missed that anyway. But now it tapped high of day, right? Looks like we might have another potential leg up. Let's see what happens on the next one. But I'm looking for a minimum of a 1-to-1 profit loss ratio before I enter the trade on a bull flag pullback. I want minimum 1-to-1. If it's not that, I can't take it. Ideally, I want like 2-to-1 or 1.5-to-1, but 1-to-1 is like the minimum. If it's an inverted profit loss ratio, I'm not taking it. All right, let's go down the list of the scanners. What's SNES? SNES. Oh, guys, if this is another no trade day, this is going to be hard for me to sit out. I don't want to have another no trade day, but I'm going to have to quality over quantity, right? That's one of my mantras, quality over quantity. All right, SNES, the float is 5 million. Okay, doesn't have news, but let's take a look. Oh, this looks interesting, but the total volume isn't 500,000 yet. It's hard to borrow, but I like this clean leg up, but I don't like this big red. Now it made pretty much a round trip, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious where this is going to go. It doesn't have news, but ATRA, let's see. This looks like it might end up being a micro pullback right here. This is the top of the low candle. Again, this is not a profit loss ratio I can sit with. That doesn't meet my criteria. VITL. Oh, but VITL, it gapped down from yesterday. Yeah. So that will disqualify it from, I mean, it doesn't have to gap, but I wanted to gap up 10% over the previous day's close. It doesn't have, you know, I'm like flexible on that, but I don't want it to gap down. Okay. SNES could be interesting if we get more volume on that. SABR still just hovering around VWAP. And I'm not surprised because it's easy to borrow. So there's that indecision, right? Shorts and longs fighting. It's like shorts and longs having a UFC stare down. Let's see. All right, ATRA. Let's check ATRA. I mean, this is definitely going higher. So now we're at this level for high of day. It's pulling back. I'm going to look at it on the 5-minute. I don't like the 5-minute. I like to see multi-time frame alignment between the 1-minute and the 5-minute. If it doesn't look clean on the 5-minute. So we had a weird pullback here, a pullback here. Now we're experiencing a pullback here to the 9 EMA. This is the top of the low candle. It looks like it's going to tap the 9 EMA. This is an acceptable profit loss ratio for me, but I don't know why I'm hesitating on this because the charts don't feel clean to me. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's where the intuition piece comes in, right? Because one of the self-help books I read a long time ago, and I have to figure out, I don't know if it's Crucial Conversations, but it said that wisdom is logic plus intuition. And I think intuition comes from experience, right? Sometimes you just look at something and say, oh, I don't like the way that is. I don't want to go with it. If you only use intuition, that's crazy, right? Because you're not using any data. I'm a very data-driven person. I like numbers. Obviously, my whole professional career was in finance and accounting related positions. Yeah. So that's a point of resistance right there. And I'm not sure that even if it does pop up, that it's going to go above that target. That might be the resistance there. So now this is the top of the low candle. This is a pretty good profit loss ratio. You know, look at that. That's like almost 60 cents a share. But now, how far back is it going to go? It's tapping VWAP now. So, and now the price is below the 9 EMA. and it's kind of tapping VWAP. The MACD is turned red. So let's see. Is this a pullback on the 5-minute chart? Yep. So this is a pullback on the 5-minute chart. That looks pretty well aligned. I don't really trade off the 5-minute chart that often, but I feel like this has potential, but I'm really hesitating on it. I'm really hesitating on it. I don't know. I'm not liking it. It just feels, it's not super clean looking. And the MACD's red. I really don't like entering when the MACD's red. Again, I've been a little too rigid in the past about the MACD. It's not going to stop me. I think it is going to make a breakout. It's not going to completely stop me from taking a trade, but I want to look at everything together. I don't know. Not feeling confident about it. I could be dead wrong, but I am not feeling confident about it. I'm hoping that, 5 years from now, I'm going to, it'll be really interesting. One of the things I love about the fact that I started this channel, aside from the community, we have a little community. I love it. Aside from that, and aside from me learning in public, I'm really curious to see what it's going to be like in a year, 5 years, me looking back at these videos and seeing what I saw today versus what I will see in a year or 5 years looking back at this video. I'm curious, if I look back at this in a year or 5 years, will I see the same things I'm seeing now? Or, I'm assuming with more experience, I'll see something different, right? So I used to have the 20 EMA on my charts, but I took it off. Okay, so this is actually the top of the low candle. So we're still hovering above VWAP, but it's below the 9 EMA, which I don't like. I prefer to trade above the 9 EMA. I prefer to trade when the MACD is green. Do you guys use MACD? I know some of you do. I know some of you use MACD, but I'm curious how many of you. I know it's a real lagging indicator, so I have stopped being extremely rigid about it, but I definitely take it into consideration. Because right now, not only is the MACD flipped, it's not just like barely flipping, but now, the signal line crossed the MACD line, and now we're deep into MACD red territory. You use the MACD. Okay. Yeah, I was too rigid about it before. I have to keep in mind it's a lagging indicator. So, but look, it's breaking out. I don't know. I'm not loving it because of the fact that the MACD is red. It is above, the price is above the 9 EMA again, though. I mean, geez, this would be, this is a great profit loss ratio, though. Look at that. This volume bar, the volume bars are increasing, but it's flipping. Volume, it's flipping. So the volume bar was increasing, but then it flipped to red. That's always such a bummer, huh? It's always such a bummer. Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't get in. I'm glad I sort of paid attention to these indicators. MACD saved me once again. And also, I just really, like here, this pullback here probably was an opportunity that I missed. It was a pretty clean pullback. The volume was pulling back. It tapped the 9 EMA and then it ran higher. Here, maybe I missed a chance. Okay. We're above VWAP, above the 9 EMA, but here, this just, and the MACD was green here. So this I probably missed an opportunity. But here I feel like, I don't know. It just felt really, but here the profit loss ratio, that's what kept me back. The profit loss ratio wasn't big enough. Look at this. Here to here to here. Yeah. The profit loss ratio didn't make sense. So that kept me from getting in there. And now the shorts are in control. So those of you who short, thanks a lot. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. For me, when the MACD crosses below the signal line, my window is closed. Low probability. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to I was so rigid about it before, but honestly, it's really kind of stood up as one of my indicators. So, yep. And so, yep. So for those of you, I did a video on MACD to do like a deeper dive to kind of go through like exactly what it is. But the MACD, these two lines here, one is the signal line and one is the MACD line. And this histogram reflects what's going on with the volume. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. If the price pulls back and the MACD is like here, the MACD was open and the price pulled back. That's what I ideally want to see. And what I'm trying to avoid now in my trading journey is taking things out of desperation, lowering my quality standard just because I want to trade something. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be an emotional challenge to have if I have a second no trade day, but if that's what it is, that's what it is. Let's see, RXT popped up on Warrior Trading small cap high of day scanner, but I think the float's high. Yeah, the float's really high. But look at the price action. So the float's high, but the relative volume's good, the gap's good, and oh, negative earnings per share. But it seems to be running higher. Interesting. Oh, okay. So there's other news. They sign a partnership MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding to create an enterprise AI cloud for regulated enterprises and sovereign workloads. That sounds like good news. The float's really high, but this is price action I can get on board with, right? It's above VWAP. It's above the 9 EMA. MACD is green. This looks like something I'm more interested in. ATRA, just too many. Every time I thought there was an opportunity, I had a reason to say no. It's like dating. Got to know what your non-negotiables are, people. All right, SABR, let's take a look. SABR, just hovering right around VWAP. I'm going to take that off the table. I think that's because it's easy to borrow. SNES, not enough volume. So right now, RXT, I like the price. It's affordable for me. The float is really high. It's hard to borrow, though. It's got volume. I like the price action, though. I like this. It's tapping the 9 EMA, which is doing right now. And this is a acceptable profit loss ratio for me. I'm looking at the level 2. I'm not going to get in just yet. I might wait. I want to watch it for a little bit and maybe get in on another pullback, but I'm not going to jump into anything. Yep. And avoid distractions. Yeah. See, this is what I love. I love when you guys are chatting with each other. I love that because we're all learning, right? I love it when the chat is active and you guys share what you do. Yeah, I took the MACD off my chart for one day to see what happened. And it was so stressful. So stressful. So this looks like it's moving higher. I mean, it's definitely moving slow, but look at that. That was a nice, this would have been, let's see, 10 cents a share. I'm going to look at it on the daily chart. Again, it's like a way higher float than I would normally consider. However, I am being flexible on these things. Oh, I must have considered this before because look at this price lines on here. That's funny. Move drawing. That is funny. I must have looked at this stock before at some point. When we go back to the 1 minute chart, look at that. It did make a new high. Okay, so I'm gonna look for a potential bull flag. ATRA is popping up again, but oh, look at ATRA made a move, I think. ATRA. Well, the MACD's still red. Ugh. Yeah, I love when you guys are chatting. Yeah, ATRA, such a disappointment. All right, so let me look at the daily chart again. Wow, okay, so this might be like, this is unusual price action for RXT. Is this blue sky? Let's see. This would have been a good leg up. All right, but now I'm going to look for the next pullback. Thinking about it. Because honestly, the only thing that the float's high. The float's really high, but it looks good otherwise. It looks really good to me otherwise. And now it looks like we have a flat top, potential flat top breakout here. In which case, if that's the case, I will set my stop at 10 cents a share. If I did try to, it looks like it's pulling back. I mean, on the volume's pulling back. But I'm looking for a potential flat top breakout. I don't know. I kind of freaked out and got out too early. Obviously, way too early. Ugh. Okay. So I had one. We're going to call this a flat top. I will put these in trader view later. I didn't really have an exit indicator. Ugh. I just got nervous and oh man. Ah. Okay. So I really left profit on the table on that. Oh, thanks, Scooter. I'll write that down. Yeah, I'm interested in gold futures. I'm interested in a lot of things. Well, oh man, because I took profit too quickly. I got nervous and I just got out too quickly. Look at how much I left on the table. Wow. I left like 30 cents a share on the table because I got nervous. It didn't hit my stop. Look at that. Now I got to wait for another leg. Oh my God. So 5 cents a share is not going to get me to my goal of scaling up because I need to at least have my average. So I might look for some micro pullbacks here. Let's see. RXT. I'm going to look for some micro pullbacks here. But now it's kind of extended off the 9 EMA, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had a real. So I'm seeing a pullback on the 10-second chart. Up. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a pullback on the 1-minute chart now because of the fact that it's extended off the 9 EMA. But I'll look for another run up. Yeah, I think it's because that's definitely something. That's why I'm trying to force myself to look at the exit indicators. Yeah, why did I get nervous? Because I guess I was afraid of it flipping and going red. Thank you for asking that question, HG. Yeah, it's emotion. It was an emotional decision, which I'm trying to get away from. Trying to get away from emotions during trading. I guess I was worried it was going to flip red and I was going to have a red day. And I missed this whole, missed a good run up. So here, let's see, 315. Yeah, I missed like 30, 40 cents a share. But this is a potential bull flag pullback. You're right. I need to dive deeper into that. Thank you for pushing back, HG. Thank you. I need to really examine what I'm thinking because that was a good flat top breakout. All right, so here we have another potential. It looks like a 1-to-1 profit ratio. But I'm looking at the 10-second. Oh, it's breaking out again on the 10-second. Now I'm looking for price hesitation. Which is, I did see price hesitation. So here we're going to say it was a bull flag pullback. I think I had a 1-to-1 profit ratio on that. And my exit indicator was price hesitation. Okay. Okay, now we have a topping tail, which could be a reversal. I don't know. So what I track for my trades is I track my setup and I track my exit indicator. That time, HG, thank you for pushing me on what made me nervous the last time, because that was like, I was worried about it flipping red, but so no, this trade is what I would consider, let's see. Well, I don't want to import my trades just yet because there might be another opportunity. So, all right, so I have 2 green trades so far. And it looks like we're just kind of tapping the 9 EMA, tapping the 9 EMA. And this is me being more flexible because this is a higher float stock. But I'm seeing price action that I like. The volume, I like the volume. I like the price action. I'm seeing things that make sense to me. And, you know, the relative volume's good. The gap's good. So I'm being more flexible on the float here. But I left profit on the table here. Last week, my goal was exit indicators. And I feel like I'm still, that's going to take, I think, a lot of practice. This week, it's working on my stops, dialing them in, and making sure that I'm really honoring my stops. So now, even though the price is going up, the volume bars are going down. And I'm going to wait for another pullback. There was a micro pullback here. I didn't take it, but I'm watching the 10-second as well. Yeah, I wrote it down in my journal. Thanks, Scooter. All right, so yeah, I'm looking for a potential micro pullback, but the volume bars are decreasing. It's running up though. Seeing a pullback on the 10-second. Let's see. Looks like it's going to tap the 9 EMA on the 10-second. Oh, we might have a real pullback on the 1 minute, potentially. No? Okay, so now I'm just trying to get out at break even because I'm seeing a lot of price hesitation. So my stop, I'm trying to get out at break even now. Okay, so I know it did run higher, but I did see a lot of price hesitation on that. So that was a micro pullback on the 10-second chart. And my exit was price hesitation. So I think that was a red trade. And my stop would have been 10 cents a share, which it didn't hit. So, okay, so now I've had 3 trades. Let's see what else is on the scanner, just out of curiosity. Seems to be the only game in town today. Maybe a pullback on the 1 minute. So I'm going to download. I've had 3 trades. I'm going to download them into my trader view. So I'm going to export the file. All right. I don't like to let it go too long till I get my trades in trader view because I don't want to Oh, and, oh, okay. All right, guys, this is the moment. This is the moment where I can't screw this up. I need to know if that last trade was a red trade, because if it is, I have to impose a 15-minute timeout. Right? Timeout. One red trade would be 15 minutes. So I have to confirm if that last trade is red. Let me take a look. Yes, that last trade was red. So I am now in a 15-minute timeout. So let's see. When was this? What candle? 8:43. Oh, well, I guess I'll start from when I closed it. 8:44. So 8:44, 8:59, right? So I'm in timeout. That was a red trade. It was a small red trade, but I'm in timeout. Because if I don't honor my timeouts, then I have to start the clock over on my 20 trades to scale up. I'm glad I caught that. So this is my timeout schedule. One red trade, I take a 15-minute timeout. Two red trades, I take a 30-minute timeout. Three red trades, I am done for the day. So this is what happens when you know, I'm glad I had the whiteboard. Oh my goodness. Because I was thinking, oh, I wonder if there's going to be another opportunity. And then I saw the whiteboard out of the corner of my eye. All right, I'm going to import my trades into Trader View. I'm in timeout for 15 minutes, guys. I had a red trade. Whew. Can't believe I almost see what happens. It's like that impulse, like, I got to trade again. But I had an instinct to squish it because I was like, I should probably enter my trades into Trader View and see if that was a red trade or not. Okay, so let's take a look. Let me put today. Yes, it was a red trade. So do I go by the time of entry or the time of exit? I guess it doesn't matter. It was probably 2 seconds, right? Okay. So let's say, but we'll go by the time of exit. So 8:59. I'm in timeout till 8:59. All right. So I had 3 trades, 2 green trades, 1 red trade. All right. This one was a real missed opportunity. I'm going to say this was a flat top breakout, right? So my risk was 10 cents a share, so $10. And my exit indicator, I did not use an exit signal. Okay. Left. Why is it underlining? Left money on the table. All right. And then my second trade was a bull flag pullback. So I'm going to have to look and see what the price hesitation was the tag. Let's go see what the stop was. So for the second one, what my risk was. So this wasn't really a bull flag pullback. This was a micro pullback. So wait a minute. This was a micro pullback, not a bull flag pullback. So right, wait, am I looking at 1, 2? Yeah, this was a micro pullback because it didn't. This was a micro pullback. So my stop was 10 cents a share for that. Whoops. And time out, time to review, take notes. Exactly. Right? It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I'm so happy I caught that. So happy I caught that. So this was a micro pullback. So my risk was 10 cents a share. And then this last one was also a micro pullback. And, right, micro pullback. And my exit signal was price hesitation. All right. So none of these, though, like my biggest thing, and this is where I really screwed up on this first one. I could have had a great profit R ratio for that, and I really left profit on the table because I got nervous. I didn't wait for an exit signal, and I didn't wait for a full stop. This was my last week's goal, but I'm still obviously working on that. And I think that's going to be the thing that holds me back from scaling up. I do. I think that's going to be the thing that holds me back from scaling up, is that I'm leaving profit on the table. I'm not letting my winners run. But let's plug the leak in the boat first before we start rowing again, okay? All right, and so let's look at the metrics. And right now I am up $10.76. My accuracy is 66%. So the accuracy is good. Yeah, everything looks good except my my profit factor. I didn't let my my winner run. That's, I think, going to be the thing that holds me back from scaling up to 150 shares. So, but this is good, guys. This is good. This is what learning in public looks like. Okay. I know the numbers are small, but you know, it is. It's really high. And this is one of the things that I've been more flexible on. Is if the price action's good, the relative volume is a non-negotiable, and the share price is a non-negotiable. But I have been more flexible on the float as long as I see good relative volume, good total volume. This one's really high, but I saw the price action, and I think that I'm going to be more flexible on the things that like float. Let's see. So let me look at my list. I'll tell you exactly. I'm going to post my trading plan once I've got it completely edited. So my non-negotiables are the price has to be under $10 because that's reducing my exposure and my risk. Okay. I want the relative volume to be more than 5 times the 50-day average. That's a non-negotiable. And I want the total volume to be over 500,000. But the float under 20 million and the gap 10% more than the previous day's close, those are more nice to have. I want them, but it's not absolutely, not all my stock selection criteria am I weighting equally. Icing on the cake, news. I would love news, but if the price action is good, I've missed really good opportunities because I was too rigid about certain criteria. And I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to realize that, like, I can't, being so rigid about everything I'm going to miss some really great opportunities. I've seen penny stocks with great price action and I've missed out on it. I've seen stocks without news, great price action. So I'm really starting to fall into the camp of price action is the most important piece. I want it to look good on the chart. I want the price to be moving in the right direction. So that is true. It is higher than I usually trade, but I'm just starting to get a little bit more flexible on certain things. And I want to make sure that the profit loss ratio makes sense. Okay, so on a micro pullback, I want to think that I have an opportunity to make more than 10 cents a share because I'm risking 10 cents a share. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm being more flexible. I'm being definitely more flexible. Now here, I can't trade this because I'm in timeout. I don't have like a special timeout chair or anything. I'm still allowed to sit here and talk to you guys. But this is my timeout schedule. Okay, I've had one red trade. It was small, but I had one red trade, and this is my chance to cool off, kind of live with it a little bit. Like you said, HG, review, take notes, but this is my timeout schedule. And now I've got my whiteboard. You guys have encouraged me to get my whiteboard. So now, after the market opened, this is another mistake that I made. I have to place a stop loss order on the active trader ladder right away. If I don't do that, I'm violating my stop rules, and then that's also going to keep me from scaling up, violating my stop rules. All right. So yeah, I'm going through my trading notes. I didn't read them out loud today on this. I'm not going to do that every day, but I'm trying to read through them every day to make sure that I am hitting the it really helped me yesterday, honestly, to have a no trade day, because it helped me see that I didn't see anything that met my criteria. Okay. So now I'm kind of looking at, my scaling rules for scaling up. I won't be able to scale up until I have had 20 trades where I've had no discretionary stop violations. I have to have a win rate over 50%. I have to have an R number of greater than 0.8, no daily loss limits, hits, and no timeout violations. So I had to start over today because I had my last trade on Tuesday was a timeout violation, and I didn't have trades yesterday. So I'm 3 trades in, and I'm not going to violate my timeout rule because that will keep me from scaling up. I'll have to start the clock over again. So scaling down, if I have 3 discretionary stop violations in 1 week, if I have 2 daily loss limit hits, that's not going to happen because my daily loss limit is so high for my account size is 10K. So I'm not going to hit 3% twice in 1 week. That's not going to happen. But 3 consecutive red days will have me drop down to 50 shares. So those are where I'm looking to scale up to 150 shares, and I'm trying to avoid dropping down to 50 shares. So I'm out of timeout. You know what? That was really helpful, guys. Yeah, that was really helpful. I used to get up and walk away, and that's good, but I think I just need to develop the discipline to just put myself in timeout. Okay, I'm back in the game. So, and it gave me a chance, like you said, HG, to analyze my trades. Okay, I analyzed my trades. I kind of took a look at my rules a little bit. So, yeah. So I'm just kind of going through this section on scaling up and scaling down. And, I'm trying to edit this so it looks neat and clean, and also so that when I read through it, it makes sense. I'm definitely a minimalist. I'm getting rid of all the extra stuff. I'll try not to swear on my live stream. I was going to say something. All right. But, I really want to scale back up to 150 shares, but I'm not going to do it based on feel. I'm going to do it the right way this time. This time I have rules for scaling up and rules for scaling down. Okay. Now I'm out of timeout. Woohoo! I'm free. If I get a second red trade in a row, though, then I have to take a 30-minute timeout. So, and if I have 3 red trades in a row, I'm out for the day. So I'm being really strict with myself, guys. All right. All right. So let's see, my scaling rules, pre-trade checklist. I'm going through that. Okay. So for my pre-trade checklist, I have to check my stock selection criteria, identify my setup. I want to check the volume bars, MACD, level tape green. All right, I've got a pre-trade checklist. I've got an in-trade checklist. I have to say that that was helpful. That was really helpful to take a time out. And now I'm like, oh, wow, I really have to be sharp on the next one. Otherwise, I have to take a 30-minute timeout. So rules are there for a reason, right, guys? Okay, so let's see. I'm looking to see if there's anything else. Honestly, this is but now it's below the 9 EMA, which it might be a pullback on the 5-minute chart, which it is. But I really don't trade on the 5-minute chart much. I have, but look at this clean price action. This is so clean. And this, James, to your point, is why I've become more flexible on certain criteria. I don't want to be so rigid because this to me looks really good. The only thing that was missing was the float. And honestly, I think I made a good decision to get in, and I'm going to be more flexible on the criteria that I think are, again, I think price action and volume. Those are the 2 things I'm really focusing on. I'm just trying to look at less and do more. My things are going to evolve as I evolve, things are going to evolve. So here, this is the top of the low candle. If you were going to trade on the 5-minute chart, which I really don't do that much, but this looks like a potential good pullback on the 5-minute chart. The thing about trading on the 5-minute chart is I feel like by the time you realize it, I don't know, it just feels like it moves slow and I feel very exposed. This is why I want to get into swing trading, but I just feel like I don't have the capital. I don't want to keep my money locked up for an extended period of time. I mean, I could get into the kind of swing trading where you buy one day and sell like a day or 2 later. That is something that I could get on board with. I'm starting to paper trade gold futures right now. I'm really interested in that. because I follow the gold price pretty closely. I have for years because I buy precious metals. Look at this. It might be so this is a good profit loss ratio. This could be a good breakout on the 5-minute chart. Look at that. It is. It is. It's breaking out. It's like a really nice bull flag pullback, but I don't see the volume on this candle yet. That's the thing. I'm going to flip to the 1-minute real quick. I'm going to flip to the 5-minute. That's a really clean bull flag pullback on the 5-minute. It's just, I don't see the volume on the candle yet, but we're only a minute and 20 seconds into this 5-minute candle. But look at that. So clean on the 5-minute, huh? And that's, again, because I'm seeing that multi-time frame alignment between the two charts, that gives me a lot more confidence. Wow, look at that. But this volume candle isn't really going up, which is giving me some hesitation. Let me look at the 1-minute. Yeah, see, the MACD's red on the 1-minute. But on the 5-minute, that looks great. The MACD's green. I mean, there is price hesitation, of course, here. I'm just curious, if I had traded it, I have not taken a break this morning, guys. I'm going to take a break and kind of just stretch my legs a little bit and come back for the market open. So I will be gone for like 5 minutes and I'll be back. Yep. I'll be back in about 5 minutes and we'll see what happens on the market open. Okay. I'll see you soon. All right, I'm back. Just to stretch my legs. Whew. I'm gonna start doing push-ups over here to kind of get the blood moving. All right, so I got some liquid IV. I'm feeling kind of dehydrated. So I was like, I need some liquid IV. All right. Let's see. What did I miss? Anything? So it did. It was a bull flag pullback, but the volume bar, now it's kind of hesitating up here. It tapped this level again. This was so I mean, I could have got, let's see, 20 cents a share. So let's see if we get another one. I'm going to look at the 1 minute again. Yeah, so it kind of came down, curled back up, tapped that level, came down. It's a lot clearer on the 5 minute. Oh, sorry, that's the 1 day. The 5 minute chart, right? I really don't see anything else. ATRA, below VWAP. Yeah, this honestly was like, in my mind today, the best price action that popped up on my scanners. So, although we just had something else pop up, CCLD has a higher float, but and it gapped down. That doesn't look good, but let's just look at it, just see what's going on. Ooh, okay, let's take that off. I feel like that's bad juju. All right, so we're really just waiting for market open and seeing if there's anything else. Good morning. Hey, Haas. I've had 3 trades, 2 green, 1 red. I'm green on the day. I had to take a 15-minute timeout after my red trade, but I am back in the game. If I get another red trade, though, I have to sit out 30 minutes. So this could be, I'm going to be really careful about the next trade because I don't want to end up in another timeout. And then 3 strikes, I'm out. So it was a small one too, but you know, that's how it goes. So yeah, so I've been really, James, this is something that I've been battling with the last couple of weeks where I'm seeing stocks that are slightly outside of my rules and I feel like I'm really missing the big move. Because the price action and the volume and everything else look great. Like this looks great to me. Like here it was extended off the 9 EMA, right? Well, this is the 5 minute chart, right? But now it's kind of, this could be a potential flat top breakout. This is definitely a potential flat top breakout, but I would want to see it, the volume bar, confirm that. Let me look at the 1 minute. So the MACD's red on the 1 minute, but on the 5 minute, we're green. So this to me looks like definitely a potential flat top breakout. It just keeps hitting that level. Let me look at the daily chart. Yep, nope. It's blue sky, I think. The 1 minute. And it did break out. But is it going to hold over that level? That's the thing. Yep. Okay, so I saw it dip, and I got out. I think that was a green trade. I got to check though, because if it's a green trade, I can keep going. If it's a red trade, then I'm out for 30 minutes. So that was a flat top breakout. I got out at price hesitation. And I'm going to just double check to make sure that that was green. Let me export that. That was on the 5-minute chart. Guys, I traded on the 5-minute chart. Okay. So let me go to my trader view and import. Let me move this over. So actually, I'll import here. With Thinkorswim, you have to import the CSV file. Refresh status. Oh, sometimes it takes a second to actually. Okay, it was green, so I can keep trading. Woohoo! So it was a flat top breakout, so my risk was 10 cents a share. I'm going to put flat top breakout, and my exit signal was price hesitation, which seems to be my only exit signal. All right, so yeah, because when I saw it hesitating and then it almost dipped down to my break even point, I was like, I just want to get out before I hit break even. I don't want to wait till my full stop. I know that's really conservative. I did leave money on the table. That seems to be the theme for me, but like I said, I'm trying to worry about plugging the leaks in my sailboat. I don't sail, but that's on my bucket list. I really want to learn how to sail. I don't know if this will be the summer, but I really want to learn how to sail. And I'm trying to plug the leaks in the boat and then figure out how to start rowing again. So, okay, but that's good. I don't have to take a time out. All right. Okay, so now we're at 4 trades, and we're at 4 trades, and I've had 3 green trades. That's good accuracy today. Yeah, and I'm trading something I normally wouldn't really trade, and I normally wouldn't trade on the 5-minute, but I really like how the 5-minute looks. So here, this looks like another potential flat top breakout. Right here. Sometimes the high of the last level becomes the support for the new level, right? But this looks like another potential flat top breakout. I like to see the volume either decreasing or kind of steady for these. But yeah, my new set of rules, I feel good about it. I feel really good about it, honestly. So I'm looking for a flat top breakup, but we are getting close to market open. I don't want to get... Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I want to get this trading plan posted on Substack, over on my Substack, so that you guys can see what I'd wait till the price retests the most recent support level. Retest the most recent support level. You mean like resistance right here? Or comes down to this level? Right? It is. Yeah, I didn't see a window or anything. It could. I think it could go up. I mean, we're seeing a pullback on the 5-minute. It's crazy because I don't really trade on the 5-minute that much, but I feel like the action looks cleaner here. The 1-minute, I got the first couple of trades on the 1-minute. But what I like is that it looks pretty clean on both of them. You know, this is price action I can get on board with. This is clean to me. This is more important to me than the float piece, honestly. I check on the time frame I'm trading on. So generally I'm trading on the 1-minute most of the time. In that case, I use the VWAP and the 9 EMA. I used to use the 20 EMA, but I honestly didn't use it. So I just took it off my charts. I pretty much just use the 9 EMA and the VWAP. On whatever time frame I'm looking at. I don't trade on the daily chart because I don't swing trade. So on the daily chart, I don't have anything except the 200 simple moving average. I don't care about anything else on that. On the daily chart, I'm mostly looking for resistance at the 200 simple moving average, and I'm looking for windows back up with previous prices to see where the price might go and what resistance might be. But generally, I'm usually trading on the 1-minute chart. This is unusual for me trading on the 5-minute chart, but I'm liking it. But here, you know, if this is the last low candle, this isn't a good price profit loss ratio for me. So I'm going to wait to see if it pulls back even more. But we're almost at the market open, and I'm not going to trade the first 5 minutes of the market open for sure. That is definitely, I'm going to avoid that for sure, like the plague. Yeah, this profit loss ratio on the 5-minute is not great. Yeah, that's the thing. The MACD is starting to close. So, you know, because look at the volume, even though it trended high, it went higher. Look at the volume, right? The volume's decreasing. So yeah, MACD is still green, but again, we're like too close to the open for me. And the profit loss ratio doesn't really help me out here. So I'm gonna wait and see what happens in the market open. Now, I'm going to remind myself, and I'm going to tell you guys again to remind me, but if I place an order during the market open, immediately after I need to place a stop loss order on the active trader ladder, okay? Yeah, the MACD is kind of trending downwards here, so I don't know though. I think this has potential to go up during the market. I'm beginning to just really really respond to the price action in the level 2, you know? And of course, this is moving a lot slower than, you know, if the float was lower. But all right, I'm not going to trade the first 5 minutes, but I'm going to take a look and see what's popping up. Because there are some people that only trade during the market open. So those people may have been watching RXT during the pre-market thinking, okay, this is on my trade list, right? ENGN, what's that? ENGN. ENGN. Things are moving so quickly. I'm trying to find. Okay, the float's 31 million. Oh, but it gapped down. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't want to get involved. It's like when you see a couple fighting at a restaurant, like, I don't know what's going on there. I don't want to get involved. OSG. Did we already look at OSG? OSG. Oh, yeah. Wow, look, this has like a lot of people thinking it's going to come back up, or what's going on here? Or a lot of people that got stuck over here. That popped up when the market closed yesterday. So they had good earnings news. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't earnings news a lot of times come out after hours? Big buyer at 380 on OSG? No, RXT, big buyer at 380. All right. So let's see what happens. I'm curious because I think this is at the top of the top gainer scanner on Warrior Trading Scanners. So APYX. What's that? APYX. Ugh. Ugh. Let's get rid of that. All right. So OSG had earnings news after hours yesterday. Will it pop back up? I don't know. But RXT, I'm going to let things kind of settle. FJet. I feel like I traded that before. FJet. FJet. The float's a little high. The relative volume's not quite there yet, but they must have news. 2 Blue Origin operators just joined. Oh, this is like the space stuff. I love space stuff. Okay. Starfighter Space added senior leaders from Blue Origin's New Glenn program, a small move with outsized signal value as the U.S. space sector positions ahead of SpaceX IPO. I love space stuff. RXT is plummeting. Yeah. Wow. That looks bad. People have confidence though. Some people think it's coming back up. They're holding on. Wow, it's below VWAP now. Yuck. A lot popping up. A lot of good stuff popping up. Okay, so let's see. F-Jet. Hard to borrow. But the volume's not even at 500,000 yet. But wow, look at that. On the daily chart, there's plenty of opportunity for it to go up. But there's just not enough volume on that. Not enough. SOBR. Let's see. SOBR. Thank goodness you didn't jump in. I know, me too. No, like, how does that work? Do you have to use an international? I wonder if we would have to use an international broker to do that. Because you're in Europe, right? You're in Britain? Is that what you said before? You're in England or Britain? I know we have somebody that pops on that's from France. Wow, look at SOBR, guys. SOBR is making a big move. Let's see. I'm going to put my 10-second on SOBR. And let's see, SOBR. Low float, but the relative volume's not quite there yet. But it's flying up on... It is flying up. There's a lot going on, guys, on the scanners, a lot. It's funny how sometimes there's like nothing happening and other times it's just crazy. Yeah, SOBR flew up, but the relative volume is pretty low. Okay, yeah, so I think I'd have to use an international broker maybe? I would have to figure out how that works. Do you prefer trading on the US markets or the London market? I should probably look into it for when I travel to Europe. Like I was in Portugal in November. I mean, I don't go to Europe a lot, but I go enough that it would be worth looking into. So this had... All right, so now we're past the 5-minute window. SOBR, the relative volume's just not really there yet. And that's what's kind of holding me back from that. OSG, up to F-Jet, same thing. RXT didn't really come back. Yep, didn't really come back. And it popped below VWAP and below the 9 EMA. So not loving it. Oh, okay. So you always trade on the US markets. you know, I have like aspirations of expanding into so many things. I tend to get, excuse me, distracted by all the options. And so I'm really trying hard to just get good at one thing. I feel like it'll be easier for me to branch out if I get really good at one thing. However, I couldn't resist paper trading gold futures. Ooh, you scalped RXT for, okay, you were trading on the 15-second chart. Okay. Yeah, because it looks like it's recovered VWAP. Did you get like a break of VWAP? I'm looking at these volume bars and I'm waiting for the volume bars to, I'm waiting for the price to go up and I'm waiting for the volume bars to match the price. And also the MACD's red. Like if I look at the 5 minute, let me look at the 5-minute chart again, because this one I traded last on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, so I'm gonna stay out of it for now. SOBR, I was interested, but it's doesn't have the volume. The relative volume is just too low. I'm looking to see if there's anything that really grabs my eye that's in my price range. ADMA, nope, that gap down. ANY, what's this? ANY. Huh, let me see. ANY. Let's look at that. Oh, it has less than 500,000 in, so does FJet, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Less than 500,000 in total volume. So even though the relative volume is high, it has 3.61 million shares. The relative volume is almost 9 times the 50-day average. It has news, but it's like total volume is blah. CHSN. Let's take a look. CHSN. Interesting. Okay, but is that halted? Let's see. I'm going to look up. Looks like it's halted. Yep. It halted at 9:35 and it's still halted. So if you're someone that likes to trade into halts, didn't you say you like to do that? RXT is on a breakout. RX? False breakout. You're like, abort the mission, false breakout. I have been fooled so many times by false breakouts. It happens, right? That's the worst. All right, so yeah, I'm looking, but a lot of stuff is popping up. It's great. GOVX. Let me look at GOVX. GOVX. Let's see. Again, the volume's under 500,000. So I'm seeing some things pop up that look good to me, but they just don't have enough volume yet. SOBR, I like the price action on it. Let's see, how's the relative volume? It's creeping up. It's 1.14. You said that, TJ. Well, I'm really curious. Keep us posted. Keep us posted on that. I'm scared of halts. I've made a lot of money in halts, and then I've lost a lot of money in halts. So I'm waiting until I'm a little bit more experienced, until I get really comfortable. I don't want to get caught in a spike down. However, if that's the first halt, you should be good. So SOBR, the volume is going, relative volume is going up. LFMD. LFMD. Nope, that's a gap down. So, yeah. Wow. ELAB popped up again, but low volume. Let's see. Wow. All right, we've got, so RXT, I had high hopes for RXT, but, you know, CHSN is on the move, TJ. Let's see what's happening. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hope you got out. 226. Yeah, right? It opened here. Yep, 220, 226, 228. Oh, look at that. It's going back up. SOBR. I'm kind of hoping SOBR will increase in volume. SOBR. What is JAGX? Let's see. Let's look at JAGX. JAGX. Oh, I hope you're in it at 190. Okay, so you're in it at 190. All right, it's above 190 right now. Ooh, with 1,000 shares, awesome. Right now, you should be green on it then. Oh, TJ, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you on that. Let's see, ANY, not enough volume. JAGX, not enough volume. A lot of things are popping up, but not enough volume. Below VWAP, RXT. Well, RXT is above VWAP, but SOBR, this is the one I really want to trade, but I'm waiting for the volume to kick in. 144. Like Ross Cameron got a limit sell at 225, so fingers crossed. Oh, yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. So Ross Cameron says like at least 2 times the 50-day relative volume, but SOBR isn't even at that yet. And I really like the price action on this though. It's nice and clean. Here we have the pullback, although the volume's decreasing as the price goes up. I feel like we might have another pullback here. I'm gonna look at the daily chart. So this could be a micro pullback. Nope. I just really like this, but it's extended off the 9 EMA. And the volume's pulling back a little bit. CHSN is still above 2. Now this looks like a potential flat top breakout, which, you know, you guys can tell I like those. But it doesn't have the relative volume. So maybe this is going to be a bull flag. SOBR is almost at the top of the top gainer scanner for Warrior Trading. This is definitely a flat top breakout. It's breaking out. I'm just waiting for more volume. Ugh. It's at the top of the top gainer scanner now. The relative volume just isn't there yet. Oh, look, I traded it back here at some point. I thought it looked familiar. Looks a little choppy on the 5-minute. Look at all those chopping tails. I don't like that. Okay. So here, if I had taken this flat top breakout, 185, it would have only been 5 cents a share. But now it looks like a real pullback. But the relative volume is almost at 2 times. CHSN looks like it's... Oh, did it catch your order? Yes. Did it catch your order, TJ? It looks like it would have caught your order. This was another breakout. So look at that. CHSN made a run for it. Well, if it does a real pullback, I will definitely consider getting in. RXT, I'm going to take you off the list. Okay, SOBR is over 2 for relative volume. All right. So now let's see. This was 10 cents a share, well, 9 cents a share. So the volume's pulling back. Oh, wow. Okay. At $2 for 100, oh, for 1,000 shares. Nice. So SOBR seems to be getting some resistance right at $2 a share. It's tapping the 9 EMA now. So I feel like the price action is a little bit choppier on CHSN. So if this is the low candle and this is the bottom of the low candle, I feel like my profit loss ratio is a little bit, it's 1-to-1 for sure. But I don't see the confirmation on this candle for the breakout. That's what I want to see. I want to see the current candle green and popping up. Here I've got an inverted profit loss ratio too. Kind of, well, 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Oh, this popped way down. Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think it's faint-hearted for the faint-hearted. I'm looking for an opening, but it feels choppy to me. Fortune favors the bold, TJ. Yeah, that might be a little bit choppier than I'm like. even this, look, we had a false breakout. It just keeps tapping $2. If SOBR goes over 2, I'll probably get in, but otherwise I think I'm going to take a back seat on that. And we're coming up to 10 o'clock. So I could keep trading, but I'm green on the day. And I have a good accuracy, and I haven't had any violations that are going to prevent me from, so these 4 trades qualify me towards getting up to my next level of 150 shares. So I think I'm going to call it, guys. I want to keep trading, but I am also green, and that feels good. So, oh, TJ, I'm really rooting for you. I feel like CHSN, I wanted to get in on it, but I'm scared. I hope it works out for you, for sure. SOBR, I think it's going to break 2, and obviously a lot of other people think it's going to break 2, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off. I felt really confident about RXT, and I'm not feeling as confident about SOBR, partly because of the lack of relative volume. It's creeping up, and it might keep climbing over the course of the day, but I do have other commitments, gentlemen, so I am going to take off for the day, but good luck, TJ. Good luck, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow, and I will be posting my daily recap a little bit later, and then I'll be back trading live tomorrow morning, and I hope you all have a great day. Trade smart.